Hey, what's up, guys? The Gangster Jeweler here. So today we are going to be working on a ring that needs to be sized to shit to a 6 1/4. 6 1/4. Let's see what size this thing is. Holy shit! This thing's a 9. Okay. Well, that's different. So we're going 1, 2, 2 3/4 sizes. All right. And it's a nice ring. It is a nice ring. All right, let's go ahead and mark our spot like a dog. Mark our territory here. No, not those. Need these. Mark our territory. Hey, look at that. 2 3/4 sizes already out. How about that shit? So we're going 1, 2, 3/4 size. All right. So we will go ahead and rake that on across there. Make our lines. And if you got a saw, use your saw. If you got cutters, cut them if you got them. Cut them if you got them. All right, now what we need to do, oh, wrong one, all right, now we need to go ahead and switch to our cutting disc so we can even them sides out there. Right, now we don't have any stones coming down the side, so we're not really overly worried about that. And we don't have any hollow sides, which is nice. That's a plus. This is probably one of the most solid rings I've worked on in a while. With the way the economy is, man, you get a bunch of hollow chains, hollow rings, because hollow's cheaper, but hollow don't hold up as well as solid, man. Especially if you get a hollow chain and put a heavy charm on it. Yeah, but you're gonna be fixing that thing a lot, because that when that heavy chain is going back and forth across that hollow chain, it's just eating them links up, man. That's why I tell people, if you're going to get a hollow chain, you're going to have to put you a light charm on it if you're going to wear a charm. You put a heavy charm on a hollow chain, and you're asking for problems. Now we will have to oval this a tad. Not a hell of a whole lot, but we will have to oval it regardless. There we go. Got her together there. I think we're about ready to get this thing soldered. There we go, we got her together. Let's go ahead and set her up here. Dip her in some boric acid denatured alcohol. And I'm going to try something that somebody had mentioned in a video. I've never done it this way, but I'm going to try it. So I've always grabbed the solder by the ball on the pick because I feel like I have more control over it, like where it can go. But somebody had mentioned about putting the flux on and then putting the piece of solder on top of the flux. So we're going to see how that works out. I don't know that it's going to work out, but we're going to try it anyways. As soon as I get my torch lit up here. Did I even turn my tanks on? Probably didn't. Pretty sure I did though. Alright. Oh shit. Went out. Let's go ahead and burn that off. There we go. But we're going to try to do their method. I'm going to give it a shot. So we're going to go ahead and put our flux on here. Alright. This is white gold, so we are obviously going to be using white gold solder. Alright, we're going to try their method. Let's try their method. I'm not sure I'm down with this, but let's see. There's always several different ways. Like I always say in my videos, there's many different ways to do different things and get the same outcome. Jewelry repair is kind of one of them unique things where you can, you know, like a mechanic, there's an actual step-by-step. But jewelry repair is one of them things where you can actually do things different ways and it will come out the same. And have two different jewelers do it two different ways, which is crazy. Alright guys, let me zoom you in here. I don't know. I honestly don't know how this is going to work. This feels weird already. Alright, let's see. Let's see what it does. I'm willing to try whatever, honestly. I don't know. Okay, so it balled up. Alright, well I got a question for the people that recommended that. Look, it works. It does work, but did it go through on the other side? I can't tell. think it did. There we go. I think it went through now. So yeah, I mean, that way works. There's nothing wrong with that. But the question I have is, why would that be any different than what I've been doing for all these years? I think that's why I never, because I used to do it that way, like in the very beginning. But the solder balls up anyways. So why not just ball it up and put it on your pick, and then you can control kind of where the solder is going to go. I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, I mean, there's, hold on, I gotta quench that off. There's nothing wrong with doing it that way. That works. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with somebody doing it that way. I don't know that I'm a fan of it, because the solder's gonna ball up anyways. But yeah. Use your pick or put the solder on there, at least when you're sizing rings. I mean, it works all the same as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, for those of you that recommended that, I mean, that's not a bad idea. It does work. I don't know that I would switch from putting it on the pick and doing it that way, because it's going to ball up anyways. But I wanted to try it, you know. I've seen some people mention it. I'll give it a shot. It definitely works, you know. Damn sure does work. And this thing don't want to come off. Alright, now. Is this bitch, I can't figure out, is this bitch yellow gold or white gold? Let me see. We're fixing to find out real quick. I'm gonna be mad if this thing was rhodium plated, yellow gold rhodium plated. That would suck. Oh, you bitch. Exactly what it was. Yellow gold rhodium plated. How about that shit? That's alright. Good thing it's a good thing I used yellow gold, because I had a funny feeling when I was looking at it. I was like, you know what? I know I said I cut white gold, but I didn't. I didn't want to correct myself in case I was wrong. But just the way it was white and then it was yellow in some areas. Now, white gold will turn yellow, you know, left untreated for a while. But damn it, man. Jesus Christ. Alright, so this was yellow gold, and somebody, no, I thought I had used yellow gold. I used white gold. Damn it. So what had happened, this looked like a white gold ring, but it was yellow gold. Somebody rhodium plated it white, apparently. Either that, or it was just the way the light was hitting it. It was hard to tell. But we're gonna have to pull some yellow solder through there, guys. I hate to say that, but we had a minor boo-boo on that one. Looked white to me. Y'all can go back and look at the beginning of the video. Tell me what y'all think. I know you guys have had that happen at one time. Every now and then you'll get a ring, I don't know why, that for some reason you can't tell if it's white gold or yellow gold. For whatever reason. But we are going to address that right now. Now keep in mind, if you do that, like say if you're working on a ring and you accidentally, like say it's white gold, you pull yellow gold through it, or vice versa. If you just go ahead, get the same carat and the color that you're wanting to pull through, just pull it through the same spot, and that'll fix your problem. It ain't gonna hurt it. But I think I like balling it up on the pick, and then I have a little more control of where the solder goes. But that's just me. But damn guys, we're gonna solder this thing twice. How about that? Damn sure looked white to me to start with. But I think what might have happened is there might have been just residuals of rhodium plating left on it. You bitch. Yeah. Hold on, we gotta cool this off real quick. So we knew that was gonna happen. Let me zoom you guys back out. So it just come apart where we had soldered it. So let's just go ahead and get it back together. That works out better anyways. This way we can go ahead and pull that. Go ahead and pull that white solder out of there. Come on, get out of there. Get it out of there. There we go. Alright, now we'll put it back together. I was hoping it wasn't going to pop open, but it did. It did. I was really hoping it wouldn't, though. Well, damn it. And they're back up there. Gotta get that little piece out of there. There we go. Yep, it damn sure looked white. But looks yellow now. Not a big deal. That shit's gonna happen from time to time. What can you do? And don't any of you veterans ever say you ain't seen a piece that you couldn't tell whether it was white or yellow. I mean, we've all seen that shit. I've even had some rings where it literally wasn't rhodium plated, and just the way the gold was, whatever alloys they used to mix it, it might have been from overseas or something. But it had a yellow hue and a white gold hue, and it didn't matter which one you used, the white gold or the yellow gold. It looked good on the ring, which was crazy. All right. Take 3, guys. Take 3. Now, somebody was sitting here talking about Somebody made a mention, I think it might have been Robert Hunter, but he said that, you know, you can't make money if you're taking hour long to do ring sizings per ring, which I get that. It's taking me a little bit longer because I'm filming while also trying to work, which is a little bit of an act in and of itself. Normally doesn't take me that long if I'm not trying to film and keep things in focus as well, which is why I'm not able to film every repair that I do, because if I did, shit, I'd be going slow as hell. So that's why I'm not able to film every single repair. Not only that, I don't know what the camera will hold, you know, and sometimes you end up with there we go, I think that went through. Yep. Alright. Let me zoom you guys back out here. These are diamonds, so we're not really too worried about quenching it in the water. Yeah, that went through. That looks better too. Don't look white. I could see it now in the comments, y'all. He's talking about white rings. He's racist. You would get some crazy shit like that with the way things are nowadays. Somebody like, oh, he mentioned white rings, he must be racist. It's like, really? I don't think so. Alright, I need to straighten this out a little bit. Where's my ball peen hammer at? There you are. Let's come over here for a second. Let's tap on this side a little bit here. There we go, that looks better. Yeah, it looks better. Alright, let's file this inside down real quick. Grab my... Oh shit, almost fell. Good catch, Rob. Alright. Well, Robert Hunter, you're right, man. If I had to film every repair I was doing, I'd be slow as shit. Would be slow as shit. Alright, let's see what we're looking like here. Looks like we're 6 1/4 on the money. 6 1/4. Let's check the other side. 6 1/4. Can't ask for better than that, guys. Alright, let's finish filing this inside down here. Okay, let's go ahead and switch to our outside rock here for a second. All right, let's see. We need our file. Where's our metal file at? We hadn't used it in a minute since I did my bench sweep, so it's all the way in the back. And we're gonna need our wedge so we can get these sides looking even. Because right now, they're not very even. Not very even at all. That's looking better. Alright, let's finish filing this top here just a hair. Okay, let's work on this other side now. And remember, you just want to do single file strokes. You don't want to go back and forth like this. We're trying to make it even. If you push too hard or you start getting too aggressive with it, you're going to make a groove into the side of the ring. So you want to make sure that you're just doing single file strokes. And you ain't got to push super hard. That you do not have to do. Still got some filing to do here. It's a nice looking ring. It is, it is. It is a good looking ring. Alright, we are about where we want to be. Let's run over the top here a little bit. Alright, let's check our size again here. 6 1/4. Flip her over. You want to make sure it's the same side on both sides. 6 1/4. Alright. Now, let's go ahead and get our silicone wheel. We'll smooth the inside out first, and then we'll do the outside and the sides and get them done. All right. That's a nice ring. Probably one of the nicer rings I've worked on in a while. Alright, we got the inside smoothed out. So yeah, if you ever do that, like, see, you can tell this is yellow now, whereas before you really couldn't, it looked white. But if you do accidentally pull like the wrong solder through, no big deal. Just go ahead and pull your, grab you a piece of yellow or whatever color you need, just pull it through the same spot. Not a big deal. But yeah, go look back at the beginning of the video, man. Tell me what y'all think. Let me know in the comments, man. Did that look white to you? It damn sure looked white to me. Y'all let me know. But you can look at it now versus what it was in the beginning. We got some deep pits over here on the side. String has been knocked around a good few times. Got some deep scratches on the side over there. Hold on a second. Yeah, I don't know that I like that. I don't know that I like the setting the solder on the top part. I'm not really sure about that. I mean, it works, you know. It does work. That I will say, but the solder is going to ball up anyway, so I don't know. To each their own. Like I said, there's many different ways you can do things to get the same outcome, you know. Sorry, I had to get some deeper scratches out of here that were just too deep. This thing is definitely been knocked around a few times. Got some pretty deep scratches in here. Alright, let's do the sides and then I'll come back to that top there. come back up here for a second. Take this other side here. Alright guys, I think we're about almost done here. Alrighty guys. I hate to say this guys, but I think doing it the way that y'all said, putting the solder on top, you get a little bit of pitting going on there, which I normally don't have. I don't know if that's because it's got flux on it and then it balls up. Yeah, I'm not a big Not sure that I'm a big fan of that. I mean, I didn't get it too hot, that I know. That I am fully aware of. But I know in the comment section they'll be like, it was you. You just didn't do it right. Which is all good. I get it. That's normally not something I have an issue with. It's just, maybe it's just coincidental, but since I tried it your guys' way, you got a little bit of pitting going on there. Alright, we're getting there, we're getting there. We are getting there. Yeah, I think I'll be sticking to my normal way, guys. I appreciate the tip though, man, and if it works for you, there's nothing wrong with that. It just don't seem to work for me. This does not work for me, for whatever reason. Alright, let's check our size here. We're still 6 1/4. Still 6 1/4. But we do still got just a little bit more we need to try to work on here. Damn, y'all, that thing does not want to go away, does it? I'm trying to do it with the silicone wheel because I don't want to grind on it anymore. Usually if you do it with a silicone wheel, eventually you'll get down to where the pit isn't anymore. But you don't want to go trying to grind it. So if you get in a situation like this, make sure you just use the silicone wheel. Don't try to grind it to make it faster, because that just makes it worse. Takes longer to do it that way, but eventually it will come out. It will eventually come out, so. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Alright, well guys, I will not be doing it that way again because it seems to cause pitting for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but it looks a hell of a lot better now. Alright, let's check our size. We are 6 1/4 and we are 6 1/4. Alright guys, I'm gonna go drop this in the ultrasound and then we'll come back and polish her up. We'll be right back, y'all. Alright guys, we are ready to get this ring polished up and get her looking nice. So let's go ahead and get her polished up. Get this top nice and polished here. Now this ring has got really strong prongs on it. This is a very solid ring. This is probably one of the better made rings I've seen in a while. Alright guys, we are starting to look like a ring again. Starting to look like a ring again. Alright guys, let's go ahead and hit the inside now. Alright guys, We've got this thing nice and looking good. Get a little more of this inside here. Alright guys, we're going to go drop this in ultrasound, get all this rouge off of here, and we will come back and look at the finished product, guys. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back with that ring. You can see we got it nice, clean, and polished. Got her looking good, man. Got our fingerprints all over it already too. Get all this shit off of there. But this was took a little bit longer than I would have liked, and originally looked like it was white, but it was yellow. We had to straighten that out. That shit happens from time to time. Not a big deal. But this is the Gangster Jeweler, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you would like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. If you'd like to leave a tip or donation, the link for that will be down in the description, although it's not required. It just helps the channel grow and show some love. It's a nice ring, man. It really is. But yeah, if you'd like to leave a tip or donation, I'll have links for that down in the description, although it's not required. It just helps the channel grow and show some love. Maybe if you learned something. Shout out to all my loyal subscribers. If you're looking to buy jewelry in the Jacksonville area, I highly recommend Money Miser on Blanding Boulevard. And also, I had forgot about my other buddy's store, Big Mike. He's up there on 103rd, down on the farther end of 103rd. I'm trying to remember the name of the place again. Dang it. I'll have to try to get that for the next video. But Big Mike, it's a gun store down on the left hand side, way down 103rd there. He's good people as well. But I would definitely check them out as well. And Money Miser on Blanding Boulevard. But this is the Gangster Jeweler, guys. Also, if you'd like for me to do your repairs, you can visit my Etsy shop, which I'll have the link for that down in the description. If you'd like to check out my live streams on Beam, Kick, or Rumble, I'll have the links for those down in the description as well. All those are more like gaming and reaction type streams. They're not really jewelry related, but I'll leave the links for that down there if you'd like to check them out. And I think other than that, guys, I think that about covers everything. Oh, also, if you're a business in the Jacksonville area or Orange Park and would like for me to start doing your repairs, you can shoot me an email. I'll have that down in the description as well. I think that about covers everything, guys. But this one we took from a 9 to a 6 1/4. I tried the soldering your guys' way. It works. I'm not a big fan of it, but it works. And if it works for you, that's all that matters. Like I always say in many of my videos, there's tons of ways in jewelry repair to do things differently and get the same outcome. But at any rate, guys, there is no right or wrong way. As long as the finished product comes out the same, that's all that matters. But this is the Gangster Jeweler, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. I tried your guys' way to solder. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm not shitting on it. It works. If it works for you, whatever works for you, guys. As long as it works for you, that's all that matters. You know, and then you guys might do it my way, putting it on the pick, and that might be weird to y'all, you know. So it's to each their own, and it's not a big deal. But I appreciate you guys watching. I figured I'd give it a shot. This is the Gangster Jeweler, and I'll see you guys on the next one, y'all. Take care.